Howdy folks, Bluesboy Jag, 4-string. Cigar box? No, but it can be played on a cigar box guitar. This has been hanging up on my wall for about 10-15 years. I haven't really played it very much. I picked up this guitar in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and it was hanging on the wall, and I thought, I bet you that one sounds pretty damn cool, tuned to open G, and it does. And I really haven't played this in forever and ever. I did put a little pickup in here, and I had it rigged up where I had a input jack and a volume control, but for some reason I took all that out. Anyway, this is open G. G, D, G, and B. Typical 4-string cigar box guitar tuning. Except this is obviously not a cigar box guitar, but we can still play cigar box guitar music on it, can't we? Why, sure, why not? So this one just kind of popped into my head. I started jamming around and came up with a couple of different riffs. So here is how we start out. So I'm sliding down 1st string, 1st finger, 3rd fret. I'm just doing that 1 string, kind of snapping it with my finger and sliding back down. Then I'm going to do an upstroke, and that's the open G chord right there. So I'm going to slow this way down. It's pretty fast. 1st finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Slide it back down to 2 and then 0. I'm playing all 4 strings, strumming all 4 strings, and I'm sliding back that 1st string. It's just sort of a boogie shuffle, and I'm choking everything on that shuffle part. So I'm starting out with that 1st string, sliding down from 3 to 2, and then 0. And that 2nd part is easier than it looks. That's the 2nd string, 1st finger, but I'm strumming all 4 strings. Then I jump to that 3rd finger, 3rd string. I am doing a lot of choking with the fretting hand. You might want to pick back here closer to the bridge to get a brighter tone. I kind of prefer that. Since I'm using my fingers, it's not as bright and spanky as I want. You know, I like it nice and spanky. I'm also choking with that hand. Sometimes I play that, by the way, that end part, on that 3rd string. And sometimes I do it on the 2nd, and sometimes I do it on the 3rd. Or the 4th. So. So there's one slight pause and then there's a second riff. So here's the first riff. And you can kind of jump around on any of those strings, except for that first one. I'm going to be sliding down on that first string, and then you can sort of make it up on your own. You can have any kind of pattern you want with those other three strings. The trick on this one is to mute. So I'm fretting on the second string, 3rd fret, but I'm muting with my second finger. I'm strumming all 4 strings, but that second finger is flopping down and killing them. And you put it all together and you get real choppy. Notice how the first finger jumps from the 1st to the 2nd to the 3rd string. Real slow. The very last 2 strums, you can do it on any strings. Here's the 4th string. I'm jumping all the way down to the 4th string. That's staying on the 2nd string, and here is the 3rd string. Here's the 4th string. And of course you can jump back and forth between those. It sounds pretty cool if you kind of alternate those. Okay, so the next part is I'm sliding from the 12th fret to the 13th to the 14th. And I can't quite get perfectly perpendicular because the body of the guitar, but that's okay because it sounds really bad. And sometimes you want those kind of, what the hell was that kind of thing when you're playing gut bucket blues. So. So you can slow that down. Obviously you want to start out slow. And you're thinking that's really not that slow, is it? Not really. One thing that's real important, right before that slide, I'm going. All I'm doing is, first finger is going to be on that 3rd string. So, oops, I messed that up. Start on the 10th fret to the 11th to the 12th. Now, one little picky thing that I do, I mentioned this a minute ago, is I'm choking those last few strums down here before I go. So real slow. You see how everything is choked off. I kind of like that. You don't have to do it that way, but I really like choking. That's pretty fast right there. Sometimes it's good to play it like ridiculously fast. Experiment that way. Get your fingers moving. So if you can nail it fast, you can definitely nail it medium or slow. So we haven't really gotten very far so far because there's a lot of nuances in this one. So hang in there. did mess up one port in there. You probably figured that out. So that's the whole thing. There's 2 or 3 riffs back to back. So in that regard, there's not that many different parts. They are pretty tricky though. So back to it. There's 1. There's 2. And remember, this hand doing straight down, up, down, up. So the second part, I'm borrowing all the way across on the 5th fret, which is going to be what? G, A, B, C. Then I'm going to go 2 frets up to D, using my 2nd finger, and then 3, and then 0. And that's the whole thing. It is a little bit tricky trying to figure out which riff goes where, but hey, make it your own. So I'm going to do it real slow. How about? That's the whole thing. So have fun with that. Be sure and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check out my new website, bluesboyjag.com. Cigar box guitar, which this is not, for 21 years. But you can play it like a cigar box guitar. I mean, it's 4 strings. All right. By the way, this is a pretty cool little beat up guitar, isn't it? Somebody put a lacquer finish on it and did a pretty decent job of it, but it is a little bit homemade looking, but that's a good thing. Anywho, we'll see you later.